are we seeing the downfall of all these dollar stores? Because this store right here is brand new and it is in a fairly nice area, part of town. And what we're seeing is that Donald General is not the same company as Dollar Tree, but both of these stocks have been down 49% over the last year. So this is not good. Donald General, that's a competitor of theirs, CEO just stepped down. And they're saying it is not because of performance health related stuff, but not good. Really not good. And this shopping center here is fairly nice. And so what are they trying to do? They're trying to cater to more high-end customer. Why? Because they're not selling. They're not selling their $1 items anymore. No, they're increasing stuff, items to about $7. Why are they doing that? Because they just can't keep up. Inflation, rising costs, all this other stuff. And then I did a little digging because they they sell you their own brand. So what they have is they have like white labeling of their own brand. And it absolutely dog shit, absolutely trash. So I walked around in there a little bit and it is not known like which one is their stuff or which one is the brand name stuff. They kind of look alike, but you can kind of tell. But I don't know if this is a name brand that they've made up or if this is just some random crazy brand. And how you gotta have to go about this now is almost that you gotta go, and you almost gotta go as these companies. You gotta go and hire these Kirkland executives that make white label for Costco, so you can actually learn from them. Because I was at Costco today, and I've noticed how great actually Costco does their white labeling, their Kirkland brand. They're making sure that it's on par with the Costco standard. And it doesn't take much to look at these images from these any of these dollar stores to kind of get a glimpse of, hey, actually all these brands that they got are absolutely shit. And so it's not very well done. Packaging can be improved, and then you can charge a little bit more money because you improve packaging. It makes it look like it's worth more because of packaging, nicer stuff, but just not doing it, you just can't compete. You can't compete in a market like that where everybody is actually selling the same type of goods. And I compared Walmart versus Dollar General, and here are the two comparison on the screen. And you can see that both of these are this. One of them is actually less volume than the other one, and the other one is actually cheaper. So now I'm telling you, why would I go shop at dollar store when I can just go to Walmart and get the same thing, better price, more volume, and not have to worry about going to a dollar store or anything else like that? So if you're a dollar store, it is 5 before midnight, and you just gotta go and hire these Kirkland people to make sure that, hey, our products are gonna be around another year. Because if the valuation keeps continuing for stores like this and it's going to go down 50, 60%, at one point you're just going to go out of business. And yes, this was a great idea in 2008, but now not so much. So let me go to my walking area because it's fairly busy over here, and I'm trying not to get run over today. So let me drive over and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, now I'm back where it's a little quieter. The mic works better that way. So if you're going to think about, hey, I need to get these product to be $1 again, you need to figure out how to white label them, market them, and then get them to people in people's hands so they're not going to go to Walmart or your competitors. And that is so difficult. And the only way how you can do that is with coming up with great marketing and a great product with a great price. So it'll fly off the shelves, right? So when you're going to have to go to these white labeling companies that come up with your products, you got to say, hey, we need to order that many so it makes sense for us, so we can still make 10, 15% or 5% profit. And we got to come up with a label that is so good that people will recognize it and say, hey, this belongs to us or something else. And you run some ads and you do all kinds of other stuff around it to make sure it feels more luxury, if that's the way you want to go. Because just having a product that you're going to market as kind of luxury or for $7, I mean, it's a dollar store, right? And then you're looking at like, hey, this is not luxury at all. This is all garbage. Because if it's in that higher price package, right, in that higher price range where you want people with $60, $70, $80, $90,000 a year to shop at your store, it's going to require you to be a little bit, have a nicer product, have a nicer line, have a nicer packaging, and it just has to be a little bit better quality than what you've been offering, because it's just not $1 anymore. Before, if it breaks after the second use, yeah, what are you going to say? It's $1, right? But if it's going to be $7, people are going to start to be, oh, it's a dollar store, and you brand yourself with the same name. The same problem that Subway had with the $5 footlong. They ran with that campaign for so long that a lot of people simultaneously, like, say, Subway and the $5 footlong are together, right? So if you're having the $5 footlong and Subway, that's one. And if you're not having, you can't have a Subway without the $5 footlong, and the vice versa the same, right? So dollar store has increased prices to $1.25, right? And some of them say even $7. And now you're looking at like, okay, $7. What do I get for that $7? Because I can go it and get it at another place way, way, way cheaper. And I don't fault people to go out and say, hey, I can buy products cheaper or anything else, right? Because that's just the economy we're in. But dollar store has a unique advantage because they can buy so much in bulk, right? They can go out to distributors and say, we're not going to pay any of this, we're just going to pay you this. And take it or leave it, or we're going to find somebody else. And for you and me, that is not possible because we're not buying large enough amounts. But these companies can buy at the truckloads. And when you buy stuff at the truckloads, and you can make exclusive contracts, you can say, hey, this is what's going to go in our store, and you're going to be the only person. And you can do a 5, 7, 6, or whatever year contract, and then you can negotiate price. And I know it's not that easy to do all that, but hey, the more you buy, the prices come down. And now when you are looking at like, hey, we gotta do something, because if the stock drops 40, 49%, almost 50%, that is half of your market value, right? So now you gotta truly, truly think, hey, what are my next moves? Because it can't keep going on like that, because once they're going to go out of business, just like the 99-cent store did, and all these other ones, these other retailers are just going to go out, because Walmart is running away with their pricing. Walmart is going to give them a run for their money, and Walmart forces companies to actually have their headquarters close to proximity to their headquarters, and that is because they can negotiate like you wouldn't believe. Because if you want to be in Walmart, it's going to cost you big time, right? Because hey, we're Walmart, right? And Dollar General can almost do the same thing, because there's so many Dollar Generals. So there shouldn't be an issue of you actually going out and saying, this is what we need, and this is what we're going to do, and we're going to put these contracts out, and whoever wants to bid them, this is what we're looking for, and then you negotiate. And it is really nice for other investors that are going to be like, hey, I'm manufacturing, this might be a great contract for us to kind of, to cover our costs and keep everything going. And so somebody will take it and you will then make money. But you got to negotiate the right way. And you can't have Walmart offer a better product with more volume than you for cheaper price, right? Because all of a sudden, I know you need to make a spread too on all these items, but it's just not going to be looking good. It's just not looking good. And then when you're going to revamp the stores and rebrand and do all this, like Pizza Hut is doing, where they're thinking like, hey, we're just going to have kitchens where people can see, and we're going to have drive-thrus to save our business. No, this was the absolute wrong thing. Why didn't you focus on making better pizza than actually having an open kitchen concept that works really nice for high-end restaurants, and then charge upscale pricing, but the food quality is not there. So as you see, a lot of these people think about the wrong thing. They lose their customer focus. They see what the customer might think, or they might think they like, but their core customer that goes there a lot, they don't care about that. They want these prices to come down to $1 again. They want these prices to be back to where they started. And if that is going to be, if they can find a cheaper prices, then they're going to go somewhere else. Because if you're looking at the dollar store concept, it's $1, right? Because that's why you go there, because you're price sensitive, because you're not making as much, or you just That's just something your values are. You just don't want to spend that much money. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But you just got to do it. You just got to figure out, hey, these are our core customers and we're going to alienate those. And if you're going to start alienating your core customer, you see what happened. Stock price dipped 49%. And I keep saying it. The only way for these CEOs to get out, to get kicked out, is when their stock price dips so much that the pressure on the board is like, you need to get your stuff and get out. You can claim whatever. You can say it's medical, family, retirement, you're old. No, you can just grab your stuff and get out, and you can claim whatever you want. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what happened. It's like you're out. Because you need to know that everybody can be a CEO in an upward market. Sorry to say this, everybody can do it when times are great and everybody has money, there's stimulus checks, everybody got money, everybody's buying cars, everybody's happy, and everybody looked like geniuses. All these CEOs they were God's gift to this earth, right? They were so smart. And now we're seeing that actually it wasn't them, it was just the market that bailed them out, right? And now we're seeing that they actually had no clue what they were doing, and you see their stock prices. And now they're like, oh shit, you did not know what you were doing. You just got lucky, and now you're out. And so you gotta understand your customer. You gotta understand what makes them tick, what makes them go to your store, because you're not just gonna go to a random place just because you want to go there. I'm not going to drive 30 minutes down the road to do a U-turn and then drive back home because I wanted to do a U-turn, right? It's just not what you want to do. And these stores, these dollar stores, aren't the destination stores like, hey, let's go to Target and just kind of shop around. I've never heard anybody say, let me go to the dollar store just to kind of shop around. Let me know in the comments below if you if you ever done that, where you're like, let's go to the dollar store and just kind of shop around and look around. Because I just don't think they have clothes, they don't have the stuff, they're just not branded that way. You go there because you want to get whatever it is, chips, some food items, you're going to get some toilet paper or whatever, and you're trying to get it fairly inexpensively, maybe some Tupperwares or whatever, some one-time uses, and you're like, let me just go to the dollar store and get it and be done with it and not spend $10, $20, $30 on it. But now with Walmart coming in, how are you going to keep up? How are you going to keep making all your profits when Walmart is stealing your lunch money? And the only way how to do it is you got to get your executive team out. You got to get them out. You got to get new people in that know what they're doing and can turn this company around, because you gotta get rid of the cancer, cut it out, and what worked 2 years ago isn't gonna work now. And this is where these CEOs, if you can turn a company like Dollar Store, Dollar General, or any of these companies that lost 50% in market value, if you can turn these around, I think that deserves these $1 million paychecks. Because if you can come in like the guy that just the new CEO of Red Lobster that's gonna start saying, hey, we're gonna try to turn this around. And when you're gonna have stuff like that, that is worth the money. If you can come in and say, hey, this is the problem, let's look at all the market data and let's fix it, and you're in a downturn market and you can turn a company around, that is worth tens of millions of dollars for a huge corporation. That is worth so much money. But let's say the markets keep continuing to decline, and then at one point the bottom is reached, and you hired the CEO at the bottom, and he also doesn't know what he's doing or they doing, whatever, and then the market picks back up again, and you're like, hey, he gets to ride the market up, and he can say, I saved Dollar General. No, the rising tide lifted all boats, right? And you had no fault of, there was no one thing that you did special that came in and you've actually did. And the really, really interesting thing is that everybody says, oh, this was because of me. And then the CEO gets so much credit for it. And I just saw this article of Spotify Wrapped. If you're on Spotify, you know that everybody's like, what did we listen to? An intern actually came up with that. And they actually fired the intern. They said, oh, we're not going to give you an offer. But she actually came up with all this rap stuff like Spotify Wrapped at the end of the year. And it's a great product. And they wouldn't even entertain that. They just said, you know what, thank you for that. And we will do whatever. And then it came into production and everything else. And so these are the people that have the knowledge. And you had the opportunity to actually have them implement it even better. But no, you took their ideas and you ran with it. And then everybody was like, oh my gosh, the Spotify Wrapped thing is amazing. It's amazing. And somebody else completely came up with it. And so you just got to protect your stuff. You just got to protect your rights. You got to protect your intellectual properties, right? But you were an intern, so sorry that happened. Wasn't great, but it did. So let me know what you think about all this. I think if they're not going to turn it around, they're all going to close the doors at one time. Wouldn't be the first dollar store that's going out of business. If you like these type of videos, let me know in the comments below. And please like and subscribe. And yeah, we're on the road to 10,000. So please subscribe. I love you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next one.